absolutely, any pro player will tell you, what's the first thing you need to learn? The fretboard. Because everything you ever play is made up of this. Everything you ever play. Trying to get over that with patterns. Well, the pattern told me if I go 1-4, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-4, 1-4, that's minor pentatonic. It is, but do you know why? It's okay to start, but patterns are training wheels. On the little bikes that we had as kids, patterns are training wheels. We're always going to use them, great, but look beyond them as fast as you can. Know what this is. So when I'm playing, this is C minor, minor pentatonic. I'm going to go on over to Dorian, minor blues, etc. I'm looking at this and in real time saying I'm on C, D, E flat, F, G, G flat, B flat, C, A flat, G, and so on and so on. I'm trying to, now when you're trying to say it, it can slow you down, but just trying to recognize it is a good thing. Okay, so every day, just go E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'll spare you, I won't do the whole thing, but that's what you should do. Play and say your natural notes on the fretboard every day. Take you a couple minutes if you've never even done it before, and it's just gonna keep getting faster. And then the question comes up, well, should I do that 50 times a day or once or a million? You know, do it as many times as you can, but learning is about consistency. If you only do it once per day, you're set. And here's another philosophical thing to think of. If you walk through a field of tall grass once a day, without even trying, you're gonna create a path. You're not even trying, you're gonna create that path just by doing it once a day. And that's actual science, that's what's happening in your brain. You know, what are they called? The paths that are being created when you do something, neurons. Yes, you're creating these new paths. That's all that happens. That's exactly what happens. So trust the process. As we say in Philly, I am from Philly. I'm sorry about last year's Super Bowl. I apologize about that. I apologize. But we've got Joel Embiid, who's on the Sixers, and he's called the process, and you got to trust the process. Anyway, trust that process. Just do it once a day, and you're set. Just go with it, because most of your day should be spent making music, not going. You're practicing a scale. Great. That's fantastic. What's way more important is then going. Now I'm still playing the scale, but now I'm implementing phrasing a little bit more, you know, some technique in there as well. So that's another thing. Learn your scales. You got to know all your theory, but don't harp on it. Don't stay there. Turn it into something that you can actually use in a musical situation. So we've got playing and saying your notes up and down each string once a day. Just do that. And then when you get comfortable with that, you can start to add in the accidental notes, your sharps and flats, or you can start going across the fretboard this way, which is a great thing to do. Play and say any piece of theory that you're working on. It's really gonna, if you want the fastest possible way to learn this stuff, it's just that consistency and saying what you're actually doing. I get asked all the time, what's the shortcut? How do I get this down faster? There isn't one. There is not one. It is time and consistency in doing so. All right, but as far as warming up, give yourself a break. You're just getting into guitar that day, put on a track, subdivide it, start off nice and slow, because you don't want to jump into playing and try and be productive with an already bummed out mind. You're like, oh, I'm not as good as I was yesterday. For whatever reason, maybe you're not. Maybe your hands are cold. Maybe things are just not clicking that day. It doesn't matter, but you can always kind of break that by just easing into something. But let's talk about phrasing. Let's talk about what really matters when it comes to, I want you all to walk away today being a better player. And it's so easy, because it is just about a couple of notes and giving it some phrasing, give it some attitude. You know, we've got the John Mayer guitar. Let's make some John Mayer faces. You've all seen him play, you know. I love the guy, you know, and he's a fantastic player. He really is. I love the faces as well. So they come with the guitar. I think there's a booklet, right? There's a booklet of how to make John Mayer faces with the guitar. But that's one thing, is just letting yourself go and thank you very much, letting yourself emote in what you're doing. It's summed up in one word. Anybody know the word? You gotta have, well, let's call it 2 words. Let's go ahead and do that. By the way, if you can't tell, I don't plan any of this stuff ever. So it all just kind of just what I feel off of you guys, I kind of feed it back to you. 2 words, attitude and conviction. Okay? Because if you stand up here and I go like this, my hand's frozen again. Turning that down a little bit. That's one way to do it, right? Or I could go. I'm not doing anything really fast and moving around much at all, but I'm going to give you my personality and attitude and conviction. It's just something you really should throw into it. And I've had people, friends say, dude, you're making those faces. It looks so stupid. Those are the people, and I'm sorry if I offend anybody right here, right now, but those are the people who go to weddings and they stand on the side of the dance floor and they're drinking, they're just doing this. They're not into it, you know what I mean? Life is about just get into it. So it's not hard, you just gotta let yourself do it, you know? So this is all just C. C, again, we'll just take it nice and simple, C minor pentatonic. So, talking about phrasing, talking about timing, talking about attitude, talking about conviction. Let's break it down and let's see exactly what's happening. If I do something like, oh geez, I broke it. Well, I got it, never mind, sorry. It took me back to the beginning, but that's okay. This is kind of limp. This is a family affair, shut up. Notes. C minor pentatonic, right? C. Notes of C minor pentatonic. Anybody? You know, I just keep coming back to you because you had your head up for a couple stuff. E flat, F, G, E flat. Exactly. Let's be honest. It's okay. Who did not know that? It's totally fine. Listen, everybody starts sometime. And it's never too late to start. Doesn't matter what your age is, it's never too start. So it's too late to get into the theory and stuff, but you will learn that from me note for note on Gitopia. Again, I'm not trying to sell you, but it's my world. So anyway, I'm thinking of C, E flat, F, G, and B flat. Now I chose to go to the F. Anybody hear of strong tones, weak tones, target tones, tones to avoid, etc.? So I went to the F. F is the fourth in the key of C. Not a target tone, because it's not resolved. You hear of a sus chord? Like here's a C sus4. Beautiful, but it really wants to go, there we go. Now we're relieved. But this just leaves it hanging. That's why it's called a suspended. There's only 2 of them, sus2 and sus4, because if I do it with sus2, again, beautiful chord. But it also wants to resolve, either up to the major third, like I'm doing here, or down to the root. Suspended. Great, you learned that. But it's not a target tone. It's not a landing tone. So I still hit it, but I bend it up to G. G is the 5th. C, D, E, F, G. It's the 5th of C. That's a target tone. It's a very strong landing point. So I just went. That's the F being bent up to the G. Simple as that. And then I just let it hang there for a little bit, gave it a bend. and this is something I asked last night. I'm curious if you guys can think of the answer as well. What is technique for? What's that? Cover up mistakes. That's what gain is for. That's what distortion and wah pedals are for, right?
That's what jazz is for.
Anybody else have an answer? You're exactly on the right path. Technique is to add style into your notes. That's all it's for. Think of your techniques: bends, slides, hammer-ons, pull-offs, sweeping, tapping, legato, alternate picking, hybrid picking, et cetera, et cetera. These are your personality, your style being put through your fingers in the form of technique to dress up these notes. Because otherwise, I could have just gone fine, but that's not nearly as cool as going, because then you get to make the John Mayer face. Oh, Jennifer Aniston. Or whoever he's with now, I don't know. But there's a big difference there. One has a lot more style and personality than the other. And Steve Vai told me when I first joined his band, every single note should have purpose, character, style, personality. That's what technique is for. It's not to stand up here and just go, which I can't do anyway, you know. But I can go. Now I'm also adding style by moving my pick to my finger here, and I'm going to give you just some of this plucking. Just with my thumb. Why? Because it's a different way to stylize these notes. That's it. And I love doing that for some reason. So I love playing just with my fingers. I'll give you your $10 later for the compliments. Thank you, sir.